However, we choose to be around our friends. We choose the romantic partners we're going to pursue. We choose to stay in platonic relationships and romantic relationships for whatever reason. These are the people we choose in our lives. If you cannot be at least 80% of yourself around the people you call friends, around the person you call your romantic partner, this is not the person for you. Hello and welcome to Kitchen Table Advice. My name is Paola and I am the host of this podcast. This podcast is a safe place where you can ask for any advice you want. It can be relationship advice, both platonic or romantic, career advice, or life advice. I wanted to create a safe place where you can ask for your advice without fear. My purpose here is to serve as a guide and give you a different perspective for you to eventually both find your purpose in life as well as your voice. As a reminder, every name will be anonymous and your identity will always be kept a secret. This is not professional advice and I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist. Just think of this as advice you would get from a close friend on a kitchen table. So, let's begin. My wonderful gems, how are you? I hope you're doing amazing. If you're a returning gem, welcome back. If you're new here, hello, how are you? Make sure you set out the vibe, and if you like what you're listening to, then please feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. Okay, so if you've seen last week's episode, then you know a bunch of stuff happened, but now I'm figuring out this might be a little better when I hold the mic. So from now on, I'm just going to hold the mic and it's just easy for me to tune everything out. Any background noise that's around, especially since we're probably going to be outside for the spring/summer season. Oh, it looks like a summer season, but anyways, so now that we're done with that small intro, we're just going to jump into the story of the episode. And this story caught my eye for various reasons because of the age. I think it really shows that regardless of age, lots of people are always going to deal with friendship issues. But anyways, so the title of this story is My Female Friend Stopped Talking to Me Because I Bought a House. Hello, hi. I'm a 36-year-old woman and I'm writing in regarding a friend of mine, a 40-year-old woman that stopped talking to me recently. It was because I bought a house. She wanted to go on vacation, but I explained that I couldn't because I have to be around to take care of the new construction and attend certain meetings for it. I also couldn't afford the vacation because I put the down payment on the house. She ended up telling me bluntly that the house was quote unquote disgusting and that she'll never live in it and in this state. She also ended up telling me if she live with me in this new house that she'll burn it down with me in it. I don't want to sour our friendship and I would still like to talk with her. How do I go about doing that? It's a delicate matter. I just needed a place I just needed a place to live since I moved out of my parents' house to a new state and I got a new job. I have no idea what's happening here. It's a bunch of stuff, but wow. Okay. So I just like to preface this advice by saying I don't know if this is true. This is one of the stories I got from Reddit or the internet. I thought it was good, but anyhow, um, if you happen to be in this situation where something good happened to you, it doesn't have to be a house. I'm just gonna generalize it. Where something good happens to you and your friend never seems to cheer for you. She never seems to be happy for you. Instead, she's there for you when something bad is happening in your life, such as maybe job trauma, friendship trauma, romantic relationship trauma. She's there for you. She's supportive. She tells you to hang in there. She's really a shoulder to cry on, or she's literally a shoulder to cry on. But when something good happens to you, such as a promotion or you moving up the company rank or your boyfriend proposing, whatever, she seems mad and she's upset. I This person is not your friend. And this is regardless of age. Some people just never grow up beyond themselves. As you know, and I'm sure you've gone through this stage as most of us have. When we're children, we're pretty self-centered. We care about ourselves, our well-need, how we like stuff. But as we grow up, we start caring about other people. We start caring about the world that is beyond ourselves. We start caring about whoever, right? And even if it's just a stranger, we don't really, well, most healthy people don't really go out here trying to make a stranger's life miserable. However, it's always the miserable people, the people who are not happy with their lives, who will make other people miserable, and this includes your friendship. I really wanted to take this story because I feel like a lot of us have surrounded ourselves with people we call friends because of either time. This has been the person I went to high school with, college with, blah blah blah. I don't want to give up because I've invested so much time in that person. And I will give you this advice, whether this is a platonic relationship or romantic relationship. Are you if you have been with friends with someone or you've dated someone for 10 years, let's go extreme, okay? 10 years. You have invested 10 years of your life with this person, you know this person, you kind of knows what makes them tick or not, but you don't like the way they treat you. They make you feel lesser than. They make you feel stupid, or just they don't understand you, or they purposely misunderstand you, because some people do that. But you don't want to give up because you've already given up 10 years of your life. Are you willing to give up the rest, another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, just to say, I've been in this relationship with this person? Are you willing to sacrifice your future for this person? I feel like sometimes we really let fear dictate our lives and let fear make decisions for us. And this is not me saying just drop everybody down by the dime of the hat, but if you really cannot be yourself, at least let me bring percentage into it, because some people are just not going to understand us. But if you are around people who are family members and friends, people, especially friends and romantic partner, because these are the people you choose to surround yourself with. Now, all of us choose our family members, and some family members are just not compatible. That's just how it works. However, we choose to be around our friends. We choose the romantic partners we're going to pursue. We choose to stay in platonic relationships and romantic relationships for whatever reason. These are the people we choose in our lives. If you cannot be at least 80% of yourself around the people you call friends, around the person you call your romantic partner, this is not the person for you. And I'm sorry if I'm busting anybody's bubble, but it's just, I feel like a lot of us are just wasting our time and wasting our lives because we happen to get in a friendship with someone when we were on our lowest. And now that we're doing better, they're pulling us back down, but we don't know how to cut the metaphorical umbilical cord and just go about our day. We feel like we're doing a disservice to them. We feel like we should be around them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a strong believer of you attract the people who are around your energetic field. If you vibrate at a certain energy, you're going to attract a certain type of person. And I'm not saying you are energetically low or whatever, but I feel like we should really assess friendships, especially people who have been in our life for a long period of time. These are friends who may have came into our life when we were down. They may have helped us because they were in the same level. But now that we are growing, now that we're getting better, now that we're discovering ourselves fully, all the good and all the bad, now that we are expanding, are they expanding with us? Are they also growing with us? Or are they pulling us back? I feel like this is really something we need to be careful about, because I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but every day you are one day closer to death. Oh my gosh, it sounds scary, but I feel like maybe if somebody heard it this way, they would change. They would stop giving that person a second chance, third chance, fourth chance. No, you need to live for yourself. And this isn't about you being selfish, this is about you being loving. Most importantly, loving towards yourself. If you love yourself, you're not going to put, well, if you love yourself and you know this person is bad for you, I'm not saying if you don't know this person is bad for you, that's a completely different story. But if you love yourself and you know this person is bad for you, and for this lady threatens to burn you down with the house, crazy. I know it's extreme. The story is extreme. But if you love yourself and you know a certain person is bad for you, but you have been around them for years on years on years, it's all right for you to cut the umbilical cord and just go about your day. You're not a bad person. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not a bad person for leaving people behind and growing into the best version of yourself. You're not. Sometimes you leaving them behind is actually what's going to motivate them to do better. Sometimes, not all, they're probably going to call you every name in the book, but sometimes when you leave them behind, you do better for yourself. That actually motivates them to do better. Us saying they're always being the safety blanket and thinking we can pull them up, it's not going to work. It's really not going to work. So I guess the I guess the message of this story is I feel like we should just be very careful about the people we keep into our lives because they can either make us or break us, regardless of how well intentioned we might be, regardless of how we want everyone to succeed. If your friends don't want the best for you, if your friends are actively pulling you down, if your friends are always unhappy when something good is happening to you, I think you need a new set of friends. And it's okay for you to leave them behind. You're not a bad person for doing that. But yeah. So going back to the story, it's just wild. I would just tell her if you're in a similar situation where you bought a house and I guess your friend is hating on you, that's an easy indicator of that person is not your friend. That person does not have the best intention for you. That person does not want you to succeed. They just want to have a pity party with people who are down in the dumps with them. But once you're not, it's just they're not for you. And if you want to succeed in this world, you do have to take accountability for what has happened for you. You do have to process every single thing, every single emotion that has happened to you. And yes, sometimes you're going to find yourself on the victim side. Sometimes you're going to find yourself maybe not on the victim side. However, I think having an objective view of what has happened in our lives and then growing from that is what is going to help us to be happy and be joyful and find fulfillment. That's really something I believe. But yeah. And you can't do that with people pulling you down. It's just not something I think that can be done. All right. So that is it for this episode. Please let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And as usual, we get our stories. Well, this story was not from our website, but we usually get our story from our website, which is kitchentableadvice.com. That's where we get some of our stories as well as business inquiries. Our website also has a plethora of other stuff. We have blogs where we talk about philosophical and social issues. And we also have art made by me. I've labeled it weird contemporary art, and I'm just going to go along with it. And as well as poems. Poems that are just, I think they're funny. They're pretty funny. But yeah. So if that interests you, then please visit our website. And most importantly, if you feel inspired by anything on the website, then please let me know. I really want to hear it. Ooh. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you next week. Bye.